Mountain Dew. That's a way to start the episode. Just some good Mountain Dew. No technical issues, Just drinking some Mountain Dew, playing some video games. We're now pretty much technically in October now, and heading towards Halloween and all that jazz, and we are playing some redemption machines because that's mostly all that's in this world is redemption machines and boing, that's the good stuff. Now we're gonna get into a conversation I had totally forgotten about last episode. So these episodes are beginning to become a big blur to me. I'm sorry. I pretty much when I went to do this project, first year, we had all the shenanigans, and those episodes were 5 stars to me. They were the hilarious episodes, but a little long, and it really burned me out. And so the second year, I came the idea. You know what? I'll just be me. Just be me, the Frater Sage, character, and a different retro memories. This virtual world of coin game. It really does hit the nostalgia button. Especially with arcades, because there's a lot of things you can't do at home, and when it comes to these sort of very physical games, these claw machines, and unless you physically buy the actual machine. Unless you buy the actual physical machine, dude. Unless you buy the actual physical machine. Like this game. You couldn't even play at home because you need remote controlled boats and a pool of water. I mean, yeah, you could. I mean, unless you want to actually go outside in your backyard and make this. But as far as something simple, that's not simple. That's not easy. So yeah, I mean, losing my train of thought. You can feel it. Yeah, I can almost feel it. Sort of it's like your brain just goes. it's like, I don't know. I'll let you know I've done a lot of these episodes, and it was kind of almost kind of something therapeutic I came up with. I thought it would being such a nostalgic atmosphere, that it would really bring out some memories of what it was like back then. And back then, you lived for the weekends because that's where all the fun stuff was. It was at the mall, or you flew someplace where it was even more fun, or you stayed at home and be bored by a comic book. The comic books back then, a lot of times you'd think that was a thing of necessity or something, and it's actually it was because you were bored. You really needed entertainment, and so a comic book was entertainment to you, and yeah, it was just entertainment, man. It's kind of amazing when you think about, comic books back in the day, 80s comics to me, almost were the exception of anything made by Frank Miller or, some of the more serious stuff DC did, that a lot of stuff was kind of with Avengers and stuff. There was a lot of kind of throwaway stuff. I think actually, honestly, if you were into, well, there you go, got $20. That's pretty cool. And pretty good dropping, getting those prizes, you know. So, more claw machine fun, so yeah, I mostly did the project mostly just to, kind of, it was like sort of unwind some memories of just, how things were back then, Like a lot of people, what it was is it was minimalism, it was is truly minimalism because you everything was more limited. To have fun, you had to go places, you had to go to movie theaters, you couldn't you had to rent movies, you had to rent video games, you had to do these things, and it really depended on how much money your family had, like it was tough times, and I mean for some people it was easier than others, I mean my family, if it was it got fairly easy, we did fairly well, so but we weren't rich, but yeah, I just won that octopus. Just won an octopus. That's pretty cool. See if I could get that seashell. Those things are hard to get, as you can clearly see. They're very smooth, and it's hard to grasp the claw on those. So yeah, everything was minimalism back then. I mean, you couldn't have everything. You could, and then sometimes it also depended on your own parents' beliefs on things. Like I couldn't get Dungeons and Dragons. I couldn't get some of the really fun stuff. Especially that would have been great for me because of my imagination. And I couldn't do it because at the time I think my mom was watching a lot of like charismatic 700 Club type stuff. And it's funny now. Like I watch like sort of like Catholic podcasts and things like that. And maybe even the hosts of those shows, they're absolutely cool about Dungeons and Dragons. It's because, yeah, I mean, yeah, those games could have a dark side too. Video games can have dark sides. So, but you just have to use your reasoning to stay away from the stuff that isn't good. Like, I mean, yeah, you don't role play that you're a satanic priest because that clearly God is going to punish you for that. But if you're just, whatever. And yeah, I know the footage has been pretty much the same footage the last few shows, but let's be honest. Let's be honest. I've watched a lot of shows where they do commentary and then they'll very lucky not to have crashed the game by doing that, by the way, looking back on it. But really, I mean, looking back on it, that you just had to use your own discretion with things back in those days. Play some mini golf, even though I think it was back in the July episodes. I think I did the mini golf. I can't remember. That's the only problem when you just record too many of these like episodes in like one big lump. Then, you, you start running into like the same footage, and then it's like, yeah, I need to either pretend I've never seen this before, or just acknowledge it. And in this case, I'll just acknowledge it. There's actually been some thought lately. I'm kind of like going, should I just kind of cut this and just, bring the characters in and start changing the show already? I was planning to go all the way to the end of the year, but I'm already like kind of going, well, I think I may have like, I think I need to like do some story changes